first it was on the women, and this happens to me when I prepare myself to be wowed and impressed by a movie. But in this case, it was not uncalled for. There Will Be Blood is regarded as one of the greatest movies of the 21st century. However, something happened while watching the movie that made me question myself and see the entire flick differently. And it was in this scene, the explosion scene. After this event, the main character, Daniel Plainview, suddenly transformed into an asshole, and that troubled me. I was asking myself, why would the writer suddenly change a good man to a selfish and ruthless bad man?
When do we get our money, Daniel?
What kind of writing is this? It was during the attempt to answer that question that I was given the grace to see the brilliance of the movie. And these are the 4 reasons why I found it underwhelming at first glance. Number 1, I forgot that I've been used to expecting traditional cinematic payoffs, action, catharsis, emotional warmth, or even a clear narrative arc. But what I missed was that Paul Anderson's There Will Be Blood is not a movie that cares if you like it. Most films are designed to win you over, and this one is not. It is not concerned with empathy. There is no clear emotional cue that says this is when you feel sad and this is when you must root for him. Daniel Plainview is not a protagonist you relate to. He is a force of nature, and watching him is like staring at a slow-moving landslide. Number 2, the movie defies our current tempo. We live in the age of rapid pacing, TikTok cults, Marvel edits, YouTube summaries. But There Will Be Blood breathes. Its first 15 minutes are practically silent. Its scenes linger, it makes you wait. So if you don't see it back in 2007 when long, slow cerebral films were still in vogue, the patience it demands might feel outdated.
Might be more important now that you've proven the field and we're offering to buy you out.
One night, I'm going to come to you inside of your house, wherever you're sleeping, and I'm going to cut your throat.
What?
The third reason why I found it underwhelming was I couldn't detect early that the movie is symbolic and not emotional. This is not a story about what happens to people. It's a metaphor about capitalism, greed, and spiritual hollowness. Daniel is equal to unbridled capitalism, Eli is equal to manipulative religion, and HW is the human cost. So if you watch the movie expecting a character arc or a transformation, it may feel flat. But if you watch it as an allegory, suddenly the minimalism becomes meaningful. And lastly, I found it underwhelming because the atmosphere is so dry, it feels emotionless. The score, the dusty color grading, the lack of music and key scenes, they all contribute to a sense of emotional drought. And if you've grown up on films that emotionally cue and reassure you, this can feel cold or alien. So the key to appreciating There Will Be Blood is to try seeing it as a psychological portrait of power with no soul, a myth about the birth of modern America and not a drama about a man, a film about the cost of ambition when you can't share it with anyone, and most of all, a film where the cinematography, the sound, the silence, and performance are the story. And let's talk very briefly about the direction, because it was the direction that made me think that Plainview was a good man, and that was deliberate misdirection, pun not intended. At first, Daniel seems fair, almost noble. The early Daniel seems like a self-made man. He's honest, he's determined, and even charming in a rugged way. He adopts a son, he makes promises to landowners, he seems focused, pragmatic, and persuasive, and he did this.
Mary. Oh. Mary something. Would you like your new dress?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Thought you'd like it. Are you happy I came here?
Yes.
Your daddy doesn't hit you anymore, does he? Does he now? Better not, right?
So when he suddenly assaults Eli, or when we see his rage simmering and his love for his son fracture, it felt jarring for me. The story doesn't give a classic origin of villainy. It withholds obvious cues because Daniel's darkness is not an arc, it's a reveal. You are not watching a man turn evil. You are watching the veneer peel off a man who was always hollow inside. That explosion scene is not the beginning of his descent. It is the moment his mask slips. His reaction to his son's injury is not horror, it's annoyance. The burning derrick is his cathedral, not a disaster. When he beats Eli later, it is not about sudden rage. It's about finally releasing a contempt he had always hidden beneath diplomacy. So, what the film does, instead of a character arc, is this. Instead of a good man corrupted by ambition and becomes a villain, it gives us hollow man, performs decency to manipulate, and then a mask gradually disintegrates. So I was looking for, traditional cues like Daniel kicking a dog, yelling at HW, and cheating in small ways early on. That would make the later violence feel earned in conventional storytelling times. But Anderson wants you to feel that shock that, wait, was he always like that? That is the feeling that the director and the direction wants you to feel. And then when you see how the cinematography buried the signs of Daniel's true nature, it makes sense. And these clues are subtle and deliberately so, but they completely change how you read him once you know what to look for. In the opening sequence, Daniel is alone, mining. He breaks his leg and drags himself across the land. Here we can see that he doesn't ask for help. For him, isolation is a virtue. He suffers silently. This is not strength. It's a man allergic to vulnerability. He's willing to risk death for profit. That is not great. It's obsession. His ruthlessness is also evident in the adoption of HW. I should have caught it that he adopts HW not out of affection, but because a father figure makes his business pitch more appealing. HW is merely a prop, a symbol of trustworthiness, something he described in a more grim way.
You're not my son. You're an orphan from a basket in the middle of the desert. And I took you for no other reason than I needed a sweet face to buy land. You're lower than a bastard. You have none of me in you. You're just a bastard from a basket. I'm a family man. I run a family business. This is my son and my partner, H.W. Plainview.
Watch how Daniel uses my son and partner like a brand slogan. There is no warmth, no tenderness. It's merely a business decision masked as fatherhood. HW is not family. He's a commodity, like oil. And also in the pitch to Sunday Ranch, Daniel assures the Sunday family that he was just interested in quail hunting. I missed it, but that is just lying effortlessly and without guilt. And when Paul tries to get a better deal, can you see that fury?
What would you like, Eli?
$10,000.
For what?
For my church.
See that? That is a man who doesn't like being outmaneuvered. This is our first taste of his controlling nature. He doesn't just want to succeed, he wants to be the smartest man in every room. I can go on and on and on and on, and I'm sure many creators on YouTube have discussed this. Daniel has no arc of corruption. He has a mask of decency that cracks gradually. His rage at Eli, his coldness at HW, his final collapse in a burning alley, these are not a turn, they are a reveal. The early signs are non-verbal. They are buried in performance, in framing, and in silence. So for an untrained eyes and mind, you may not see it enough to appreciate it and enjoy it. Instead of showing you Daniel's evil with red flags, he lets you trust him first, then slowly makes you complicit in that trust. and I will show the cinematography of that descent in another video. But this movie, There Will Be Blood, is a movie that plays by different rules. It's like reading Faulkner after growing up on Harry Potter, and I'm grateful that this movie exists. I wish I had seen it earlier.
Mr. Daniel?
I'm finished.